when a BF-109 sliced through a B-17. The sky was a churning battlefield, flak bursts like black blossoms, contrails weaving chaotic patterns across a sunlit canvas. Inside the belly of the B-17 Miss Valor, Staff Sergeant Eli Bowman clutched his Browning machine gun, eyes scanning the heavens. Then he saw it. A glint, a streak, and suddenly a scream on the intercom. 109 at 3 o'clock. By the time Eli turned, it was already too late. The flight into hell. It was December 20th, 1943, and the Miss Valor, part of the 303rd Bomb Group, was on a mission deep into Nazi Germany. The target, a heavily fortified ball-bearing plant outside of Augsburg. Without those bearings, German tanks wouldn't roll, and their planes wouldn't fly. Captain Jack "Hawk" Hawthorne, a 26-year-old from Des Moines, was in the cockpit. Calm under pressure, Jack was a born pilot. But lately, war had begun to chip away at his resolve. He'd watched too many friends disappear in flames or parachutes that never opened. "Keep it tight, boys. No stragglers. This is where Jerry likes to hunt," Jack said over the intercom, voice steady despite the icy fear curling in his gut. In the nose turret, Navigator Tommy Delgado lit a cigarette with shaking hands. "Can't shake the feeling today's different," he muttered to no one. Eli Bowman, in the waist gunner's position, had joined the war after his brother died over Sicily. He wasn't fighting for medals. He wanted revenge. Death comes with a yellow nose. Suddenly, through a hole in the clouds, they saw them. 12 Messerschmitt BF-109s screamed toward the formation like a swarm of angry wasps. One of them, painted with a bright yellow nose and shark teeth on the cowling, broke off from the pack. "Break left. He's diving fast!" screamed Eli as tracers zipped past the fuselage. The yellow-nosed 109 wasn't just another Luftwaffe pilot. This was Hauptmann Erich Stahl, a ruthless German ace with 44 kills to his name. He was known among Allied crews as the Butcher. He didn't shoot down planes. He tore them apart. As Stahl zeroed in, he did the unthinkable. He didn't fire. He rammed the tail of Miss Valor. The world exploded in noise and metal. The tail was gone. So was the tail gunner, falling apart mid-air. The B-17 buckled violently. Jack fought the yoke, yelling into the radio. "Tail's gone. Stabilizers out. We're spinning." The aircraft rolled into a wild spiral. Eli smashed into the wall, blood running down his forehead. Tommy tried to crawl to the bomb bay doors, screaming, "We have to bail!" But the plane didn't break apart. Not yet. Inside the damaged fuselage, sparks flew. Wires dangled. The bomb load was still intact. If fire reached it, they'd be vaporized. In the cockpit, Jack made a decision. "We're too low to jump. I'm putting her down. Hold on." They were at 9,000 feet and dropping fast. With no tail, no rudder, and half the crew dead or wounded, Jack aimed for a frozen field just past a forest clearing. Into the forest. They hit the trees at 180 miles per hour. The sound was deafening. Branches exploded through the glass. Metal shrieked. The nose ripped open, slamming Tommy into darkness. Fire licked through the wreckage. The B-17 came to rest in a smoldering ditch, smoke curling into the cold sky. Eli was alive, barely. His leg was broken, and blood soaked his flight suit. He crawled toward the cockpit, dragging himself through fire and debris. Jack was trapped, pinned by twisted steel, his face coated in soot. "You made it," Jack choked, smiling weakly as Eli reached him. "Thought we were goners." "We're not out yet," Eli rasped. "Stay with me." In the distance, engines echoed again. Not American. Not rescue. The other 109s were circling back. One last stand. As the remaining German fighters descended, they spotted the broken B-17. A few began firing strafing runs at the wreckage, cutting through trees and snow. Eli found a flare gun. Tommy, barely conscious, loaded a single red round. "This is suicide," he coughed. "Better to go out fighting," Eli replied, raising the flare toward the incoming 109s. He fired. It soared into the air, an act of defiance, not surrender. And that's when the sound came. Mustangs. P-51s, diving out of the sun, tore through the sky like angels of death. They intercepted the Messerschmitt's mid-strike. A dogfight erupted over the wreckage. Tracers, screams, and explosions painted the sky. Jack, fading, watched through broken glass. They came. We're not alone. Redemption through fire. As the German fighters fled, 109, the yellow-nosed one, banked around, refusing to retreat. Stahl wanted the kill. But so did one Mustang pilot, Lieutenant Roscoe Green, Jack's old training buddy. The two aces clashed in a whirlwind of turns and dives over the snowy forest. Stahl's engine began to sputter. Roscoe was on his tail, firing in short bursts. Then, boom! The 109 exploded midair, its flaming wreckage spiraling into the same forest it had haunted moments before. Roscoe circled once over Miss Valor, tipping his wings in salute before disappearing into the clouds. The price of survival. 3 days later, a rescue team found the wreck. Jack didn't survive the night, succumbing to internal bleeding. Tommy would walk with a limp for life. Eli never flew again. But he carried Jack's dog tags with him forever, a reminder of courage in the face of certain death. Years later, Eli stood in a museum, looking at a battered piece of fuselage, the section where the 109 had sliced through Miss Valor. It was scarred, blackened, jagged, but still standing. Just like him.